So, good morning and happy Thursday. Welcome back to Daily Transfer Update. Today we're going to speak about three players. First one is one of our current players that was out on loan at Napoli, and that is David Ospina. 30-year-old goalkeeper fell one game short of a compulsory purchase clause set in by Arsenal for Napoli. He had to play 25 games over the course of the season for them to compulsory purchase him for £4 million. Not 40, not 14, £4 million. And guess what? He played one game less, which says all you need to know about David Ospina. Not good enough for Napoli, should be nowhere near Arsenal. But unfortunately, it looks like he is returning to Arsenal for the foreseeable future until we can either get rid, which is going to be probably now less than £2 million. I'd take £1 million. In fact, I'd take 50 quid. Just get him rid, get gone. But he's, like I said, played 24 games last season. The season before, he played for us in the Europa League quite often. He played 10 Europa League games, only 5 league games, and then a handful of cup games, totaling 21 games. But obviously, since then, Petr Cech stepped up to be number one, then number two, then number one again, then number two. Now Leno's obviously staked the claim for number one shirt at Arsenal. Petr Cech's now retiring. Arsenal are massively in the hunt for a goalkeeper, and David Ospina just doesn't cut the mustard, unfortunately. Obviously, Martinez is looking to go as well. He wants to play regular football, which Arsenal can't offer him. David Ospina is not good enough to play for Arsenal regular. Yes, he was all right the season that he played Europa League and the handful of cup games and stuff, but listen, we want to move forward. We don't want to be going back. He is still young. I'm sure he could go and land a job somewhere else as a starting 11 goalkeeper, maybe even in the Premier League, but definitely not for me. Can't have him at Arsenal next season. So somebody, please come and buy him from Arsenal. We need the money. Somebody who could step into that role is Marcus Schurbert, 20-year-old free signing. We've been linked with him today, and he is currently an under-21 German international. He played 32 games last season, which is unbelievable. I know it's only Bundesliga 2, but he plays for Dynamo Dresden, and he played 32 games last season for them in all competitions. So he is actually a free signing. He is available to be signed for nothing on the 30th of June, which is, about a month or so away. Somebody Arsenal are very much in for, according to the reports. He made his debut when he was 17 years old, which is 2015. Their sporting director, do not laugh at this guy's name, Ralph Minge. He said he is disappointed at seeing him leave. He's obviously been here a long time and broke into the team at a very young age. So there you go. They think highly of him. He's obviously let his contract expire and run down. And last season, I don't know anything about German Bundesliga 2. I never pay any attention to it. But when I did a little bit of research for this video, they actually finished a whopping 43 points off at the top of the table. They finished on 41 points. They actually lost more games, which was 14, than they won, which was 11. They won 11 games out of 34 in the league. Clearly not the greatest team in Germany. He's 6'1". I think, listen, if he's a free signing, maybe bring him in. Bring him in. He'll be happy to play second fiddle. He's obviously German as well. He'll get on with Leno. He'll get on with Ozil if he's still here as well. So bring him in. Why not? It'd be better than Ospina, that's for sure. And like I said, he'll be happy to play second fiddle. He'll be happy to just be at Arsenal. And no disrespect to the club that he's leaving, but Arsenal are massive. Who wouldn't want to join Arsenal right now? You know what I'm saying? So we've got to be realistic. Our budget ain't going to be ridiculous amounts of money. We were linked, as I previously said in another video, with Neto, which is going to cost stupid money to go and buy him, and he'll be playing second fiddle because he ain't as good as Leno. This kid, he could obviously come in. He'd be happy to sit on the bench, happy to play League Cup games. maybe even some Europa League games in the early stages if we're still in that competition, if we lose the final. So who knows? I'm sure that one will bubble on all summer or for the next month or so until he actually joins somewhere. But we could do a lot worse than going and signing a 20-year-old kid that would happily join Arsenal. So yeah, on to the last player we're going to speak about. It feels like I'm just repeating myself every time I mention this guy, and that is Wilfried Zaha. The much maligned Wilfried Zaha. You either love him or hate him. I personally can't stand him. I don't think he's all that. I've said that previously. I know thousands of Arsenal fans would be over the moon if he joined Arsenal. I wouldn't be one of them, and I think it's a massive waste of money. But you never know. He might join and he might be absolutely fantastic, and then I'll be eating my words right now. But apparently he has done a report on ESPN, I think it was, and he said it was always Arsenal. I've always supported Arsenal from a young age. I did not expect Manchester United to come in for me, but they did. Arsenal were a good team, but when Man United come, they were one of the best in the world. So there you go. He is an Arsenal fan. I'm sure a lot of you have seen the clips of him saying he's an Arsenal fan that have been circulating in recent weeks. 10 goals, 10 assists in 34 league games this season. They want £80 million, Crystal Palace. I think that they need to just seriously chill out because he ain't going to get 80 million quid. 40 million there maybe, yeah, possibly. Apparently that's what Arsenal are willing to pay, is around the £40 million barrier. We have also offered a deal where we get him, give them Jenkinson, we probably can't even give him away to be fair, Reece Nelson and Callum Chambers, plus a little bit of cash. Now, I don't know how I feel about that one because, listen, I don't rate Jenkinson, I don't particularly rate Chambers. I think Nelson's got something special about him. I think he would be a good addition to Arsenal's first 11 next season. None of this bench or loan and all that again. I think he's good enough, and the only way you get better is to play games. So I don't know how I'd feel about Nelson being part of that deal. The other two, fair enough, yeah, that's cool. But at the same time, all three of them are homegrown quota. Yes, Wilfried Zaha is homegrown quota as well, but you have lost 3 of them, and next season I think you need to have 8 in your side, in the squad out of 25. So, we're going to have to go and replace them, or even if they're under 21 or 20, I think it is, I don't think that they class as homegrown because they're under 20 or under 21. So you do need some that are over the age of 21 to get your quota up higher, up to that 7 or 8 that's needed for the squad. And listen, you get Wilfried Zaha, yeah, that's cool. Is he worth the money? I don't think he is. Do I think it'll happen? I'm not so sure, to be honest with you. He's had his fingers burnt by going to Man United. It probably wasn't the wisest move to turn up on the day with Imogen Thomas on your t-shirt when Ryan Giggs was seeing her at the time. It's probably not also a great idea to go and sleep with the boss's daughter at the time. So yeah, I don't think that went well for him up at Man United. But obviously he's gone away. He's carried on his career. He's went back to Palace, and let's be real, he has done all right for Palace. He has done pretty well. He's involved in a lot of their good things, but he is their star man. Would he be our star man? I don't think he would. We've got Aubameyang, we've got Lacazette, we've got other players in the squad. Lucas Torreira can be put in that bracket as well. I can see it happening. Whether it does or not, I don't know, and that depends on what other teams come in for him. Probably who offers the most money. That's how these things work nowadays. The most money, that's where they're going. So yeah, there we go. Anyway, don't forget, go back and check out my previous videos from yesterday. Later on this afternoon as well, at 4:30, I will be doing a live stream on the channel talking about Raul and Vinay's 2-part little sit-down chat with Laura Woods. I'm going to go through that. I'm going to take the talking points from that. I'm going to give you my thoughts on that, and then I'm going to get some feedback from you guys as well and read out some of your questions. 4:30. Keep your eyes peeled for that. Stick the bell on. One last thing as well. Before I go, thank you very, very much for 15,000 subscribers. Massively, massively appreciated. And on to the next 15,000 now. Have a wicked Thursday. I will see you later on this afternoon. Laters, peeps.